All right, Jonathan, tell us a little bit about your business, where you're located and the name and how you came up with the name and all that good stuff.
Cool, man. Yeah, sure. It's Consistency Wins. It originally started out to be Consistency Instrument Repair, which technically by the outside sign, it still says that. But I changed it a while ago just to be a little more, encompassing and more comprehensive to what I do. But it's a wind instrument business that I focus on band instruments like flute, clarinet, saxophone, trumpets, trombones, tubas, oboe, bassoon, all that kind of good stuff. I opened in 2002, August 10th of 2002. It was on a Saturday.
Was it sunny outside or was it raining?
Oh, dude, it was awesome weather. It was sunny. That was yeah. You were there. You should
I
know.
was there. I can't remember way that far back though.
Yeah. I've actually found some old pictures of my grand opening day, and man, the shop has changed a lot.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know that I've ever even told you this. Dad actually came up with a name.
Oh, did he?
My dad did. He sure did. And we were trying to think of something like unique and just kind of catchy, and a lot of people think it's like the C is like the C clef or the note C, and it's actually for Cathel.
Ah, well, see, that's what I
Yeah.
always thought.
Yeah.
The
It's
note.
actually
The note.
no, no. It's actually for Cathel, and I was like, oh yeah, I like that. So that was kind of the story about that. But I mean, I cannot believe that in what 3 or 4 months it's going to be 19 years.
It's crazy, man.
It's nuts. It's nuts.
It's crazy.
But I'm not complaining. It is the hardest thing I've ever done, but it has been the most rewarding thing I've ever done too. It's been
so out of all the other jobs that you've had, it's the hardest one.
Yes, definitely, and that would be one of two jobs that I've had. Yeah, I worked at.
Wait, you don't have to mention the name.
Well, I'm not going to.
Okay.
I will not do that. I was thinking about that earlier. Let's just say I worked at another similar establishment, and I stayed there for it was almost 12 years. So it was 12 years.
Really, you were there that long?
Yes, 12 long, very long years.
Torturous years.
Dude, it really was. But I stayed because I loved what I did, and I learned a lot of how not to do things. Like seriously. I have to be very careful what I say about them because I just don't want it to seem like I'm bashing my competition.
Oh no, yeah, no, I didn't mean for it to sound.
Yeah.
That
Oh
way.
no.
I do it all in fun.
Of course, and I do too. But at the end of the day, like I don't even, and this is not to sound pretentious or like snobby or anything, but I don't even consider them competition just because my whole entire philosophy and how I do things is so completely different than theirs. And they're just the get it in, get it out fast. And I'm super meticulous and, go the extra mile on everything, which sometimes is not good, but,
Well, yeah, I understand.
But, in the working environment there was very toxic. And I knew that there was no way to move up. And, essentially when you work there, you basically drink the Kool-Aid, and it was it was very much time to move on. And I spent probably the last 2.5, 3 years that I was there kind of planning and preparing for the shop. And I don't even know if you knew this either, Josh. Dad and I would work at night. I had brown paper over the windows so nobody could see in.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So I'd work at night, and because we basically built everything. It was just an open shell when I moved in.
Right.
And
now that was that was a little bit of history on that building. That was the old comic book shop, was it not?
Other Worlds, yeah. Back in the 90s and stuff. But even before then, originally it was a restaurant. I don't know if you knew that either.
Oh wow, no.
Yeah, it was either I think it was called the Dinner Party or the Dinner Bell. I can't remember which one. But I've actually got a picture of Mom and Dad in there. My aunt took.
Oh yeah, in that restaurant when it was open.
Yeah, it was when it was the restaurant. Yeah.
That'd be a good question for Steve's neighbor.
Yeah, they know a lot about the history of Red Bank. But
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Oh, who is it? Steve?
Laura Crane.
Laura Crane.
Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh, that's your neighbor?
Yeah, and her dad, Don Crane.
Yes.
I really know them from the church.
I do. Yeah, I do. And funny story about them. The mom tutored me in algebra when I was in junior high.
Jane Crane.
She did. She sure did, man. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's so cool. They are the sweetest people, man.
They are. They're having a little bit of health trouble right now, but
yeah, I knew they weren't doing too hot. I hate that.
You know, they're getting by still.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, they are so sweet. That's so cool, man. I had no idea. That's really cool.
Well, you just wouldn't think that in this big old city of Red Bank.
Yeah. Yeah. Nobody knows anybody about anything.
No.
What is your favorite thing about your work?
That's a good question.
That's why I keep him around.
Yeah. You Steve, you just every once in a while just ask a good question.
The hard hitting questions.
That really is a good question, man. Just honestly, the fact of just the satisfaction of knowing that, I guess at the end of the day, I know what's going out the door, and it is kind of stressful because everything that does go out the door has my name stamped on it. But, when your reputation, starts to, get more recognized and stuff like that, it's very satisfying to know that people trust you and, want to send stuff in and come by and stuff. It's just very rewarding. I hate to say this, but everything is my favorite thing about the shop.
Well, do you have a least favorite thing? If we're talking about favorites.
Yeah. Honestly, I cannot stand the financial side of it. I hate it. I hate that part of it.
I agree.
Yep. Just like the bills and figuring out taxes and all. I hate that side.
I do too. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Taxes and all the little taxes along the way. It's just terrible. It is. And then if you slip up and forget one, and then they don't give you regular notices, but then they'll give you a big notice. And it's like, if you don't pay this now.
That's right, man. No joke, man. That's the part that I can't stand. I can't stand it.
Yeah. Well, I'm with you there. I get that. Hey, well, maybe I'm out of the loop, but how did you get that location? How did you come about?
That's a great question too, man. And honestly, mom and dad used to live, a block and a half, technically 2 blocks behind the shop, but that really didn't have anything to do with it at first. We had looked actually at many, many places in Hickson and Red Bank, but they were really expensive.
Right.
So really the price was what drove me first, and I don't regret it at all. Like location is not super, super important for me.
Right. Right.
But it's definitely it's a great location. It's great.
And you still play the saxophone?
Yeah.
Regularly?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I sure do.
Were you ever into writing music, or did you ever write or record any of your own music, or did you record with other people, or?
Yes. I haven't really written a whole lot, but I've done a lot of performing with other groups and bands, and people that I'm, even people like Josh and stuff like that, that we have done things together and stuff like that. But I was a music education major in college.
Right.
So music was definitely, kind of the backbone for the shop too. But I don't play as much as I used to. And, I've kind of, when you have these horns and stuff in your hand all day long, it's almost like the last thing you want to do when you go home is pick up another one and play,
Well, I can understand that because if you've ever seen my vehicle, it is in need of everything. It needs to be worked on, cleaned on, everything.
Yep.
So I can understand that. I mean, that's very reasonable.
So I'm right there with you. I got plumbing issues here at the house.
And dude, that's normal, man. That's that's the way it goes. Because I hate working on my own stuff. I hate it. I don't really enjoy it.
Well, I hate it because I don't get paid to do my own stuff.
That's true. That's true. That's accurate.
So if I'm going to be doing work, because that I should be getting paid for it, but I can't get paid for my own.
That's true, man. It is so true. That is so true.
So are you still with do you still play? Are you proud of or anything playing with the Red Bank Baptist Orchestra?
Yeah. We're still, of course, the COVID changed everything, but we're back. We've kind of split into two different orchestras just to be able to try to get a rotation of everybody playing every other week or so. But man, that we have exploded over the past 3 or 4 years, man. We're probably up to almost 50 players now.
Wow.
Really?
It's nuts, man. It is nuts. It's awesome.
Well, one of my follow-up questions I had written up earlier is, do you see, I guess this was from your business standpoint, but this will work into it. Do you see more or less interest in the instruments you service and with the younger people or the older people or any demographic?
Now, are you saying am I seeing like an increase in it?
Are you seeing any interest? Like, is the younger generation taking to the?
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. The wind. Is that what you call it? The wind instrument?
When it's like your band instruments, like when you're in school, like in band.
Okay.
It's really hard to say. I don't think it's as much as what it was when we were kids.
Right.
But it does kind of depend on what school system you're in. Because there's schools like Ottawa and like Signal Mountain and some of those other kind of more, I guess, established programs and stuff that their program is very supported by the principal and the school, and they got a big booster program because that makes all the difference in the world.
Right.
And so and I do have a ton of clients that have put their horns down since high school or something, and they're coming back 30 or 40 years later and want to play again. So that does happen a lot.
That's pretty neat.
It's cool.
So you have been in business for yourself, 19 years?
Almost 19, yeah. Mm-hmm.
What is your key to staying in business?
Probably my stubbornness about being picky. And I know that's kind of the people that know me, and I'm sure Josh knows this too. It's like I feel sometimes it's like my best trait and my worst trait. Sometimes it's hard to turn it off. It's like a sickness.
Perfection.
Yeah.
Are you a perfectionist?
Very, very much so. Yeah.
Hey, I think that is what helps you become an expert in your field.
It does. Yeah, it does. You're right.
And if you have the motivation to have perfection, then I think it's one of the keys to success.
Yeah, I think so too. And I always try to treat everybody the same. And I really am big on just a super laid back, welcoming atmosphere, and I love it when people come by. Josh will just come by and say hi, and he'll hang out for a while, and I love that. Like, I really like that.
Yeah, one thing I've always I want to just say these few things about you, because anytime I've ever seen you, ever since I've known you, you've always been nice and kind and warm and welcoming. Very receptive.
If you
always
been, if you only knew the real Jonathan.
Yeah, I hide it well, right, Josh?
You always seem to be very concerned about others, and that's what I've always really liked about you. And I know my mother feels the same way.
Oh, she's so sweet. Thank you, man.
She was because I was telling her what we were doing tonight, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I just love him."
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you, Steve. I'm very flattered. Thank you. I really appreciate that. And
that's not a problem. I mean, I just tell the truth. I mean, I think that's why you have become a cornerstone of Red Bank business.
Oh my!
You like it or not?
Shoot, Jonathan's worldwide, baby.
Yeah, but well, I'm saying,
yeah,
he's not he's just not Redbank.
well,
He's got
just
horns
from
coming in from
location.
everywhere.
Yeah, I know what you mean. And that's honestly, it's now that you say that, Josh. When I first opened up, like I didn't have like I had big dreams, and I never wanted to just be local, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah.
Right.
And just because in my industry it's completely non-regulated, like there's no set standard of how to do anything. And
Right.
so it's very much artistic, very kind of there's so much feel involved in it that you can't really necessarily put like an order of operations to something like that. It's too flowing and it's too artistic. And I've seen so much like bad work from all over the country. And that was just a big thing I wanted to kind of set out to kind of start to change. And
are you still doing the videos of because I noticed you did a couple of Facebook videos that were really informative. I mean,
thank you. It's
even to somebody that doesn't play one of those instruments and doesn't know much about them. The story about how people, especially the younger people, think, well, if it's in a case, it's going to be fine. I can just throw it around anywhere. It's protected. It's got a case.
Nope. Yep. That's that. Thank you, man, for saying that. I appreciate that. And that is definitely, when we have customers and stuff come in, that's one of the big things that I like to do is help educate them on, because I don't want to keep seeing them and seeing them and seeing them.
Right.
I just want to do get their horn set up the way it's supposed to be, and then teach them how the best way they can take care of it. And then I want you back in for maintenance, or unless, you drop it by accident or something. But, so it's education for me. And that's one thing, unfortunately, that COVID kind of put a big fat break on. I had so much stuff planned for 2020 where I had two, I was going to go to Western Carolina and then UT Martin again. I've been to UT Martin twice and done like lectures and master classes and stuff there. And there was, I forgot to tell you about this, Josh. Remember Tim Burton?
Oh yeah, Tim. Yeah.
He's a band director down in Georgia.
Right.
And we keep in touch every once in a while. And he'll send people up my way sometimes.
Right.
And he was gonna get like 9 or 10 band directors to come up, and I was gonna do like a little small kind of a how-to class on a couple of things at the shop. And of course that hasn't happened because of COVID. But that's kind of my big thing to answer your question, I guess, a little more, is just to educate and help people to be more informed.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You educate everybody just about all of it.
Yeah,
not
exactly.
just little things.
Yep.
Here's tips you can do here and do this over there.
And it's just like what you said, Steve, was like, before you even open the case, like you need to know that if you drop your horn in the case, it's gonna get damaged.
Yeah, don't open that case upside down.
Dude, yes. or pick it up when it's not latched or zipped closed. Yeah, happens a lot.
Well, can you just give us like to the layperson? We know what you do for the most part, but what do you do? What is there a range of things that Consistency offers?
So the backbone of the shop, or the store, is the repair benches, and that is something that doesn't really happen in my industry much. It's based on like sales and rentals and stuff like that, which I do both of those. Okay. But really the backbone of the shop is repairs, and it's not just like oil changes or tire rotations or something like that, which it is that kind of stuff, like just normal kind of change a pad here, adjust a key there. But I really my favorite stuff is the real high-end pro like overhauls. And that's where I've been very, very blessed the past several years. I've had some super high-end clients come in from all over the United States, and some in from other countries and stuff too. And it's been very very kind of humbling because I'm just like, I'm just here in like Podunk, Chattanooga, Red Bank, it's just like, how do I deserve to have these kind of people come in and let me work on their stuff? And so it's been really cool. And that kind of work is, it filters down to people that are in lower positions because they look up to these people and they say, well, who do you go to? And
Right.
so that's where the real high end pro stuff is. It's pricey, it's expensive.
I've always kind of, and I don't know, maybe this may or may not be true for your business, but if I do some kind of repair or cleanup on a vehicle, and then it goes off and gets featured in a magazine or a something, I've always thought, man, that's awesome. Have you ever worked on an instrument that has ended up in recording or been playing at? I'm sure it has.
Oh, absolutely.
Played in something that we've probably all heard, or something large.
Not that the regular person would hear like on the radio, because this one guy, his name is Dr. Timothy McAllister, and he is the saxophone professor at University of Michigan. Okay. And he is pretty much like in the realm of classical saxophone, which most people are not really familiar with, but it's very popular and among saxophonists and music schools and that kind of stuff. And I've overhauled 3 of his horns now. And
wow.
And so he's won like multi Grammys. Like he is the first person to ever win a classical saxophone Grammy, and he has like, I think it's like 7 or 8. I might not be quoting that right, but
yeah,
he has several Grammys. And he's been down to the shop, and and after he kind of came down to the shop and kind of felt me out and kind of see what I do, because he came based on somebody else recommending that he come to me, and that has just opened up an incredible like influx of other pros. And
that's amazing.
It's been incredible, man. So thank you for asking. But yeah, it's
that's great.
That's awesome.
That's something to be very proud of.
Kind of rolls back around to who right?
Man, and that is no joke, man. That is
word
no
of mouth.
Joke.
Word of mouth. Yeah.
And as far as like going down that path of like advertisements and stuff, I've never really done a whole heck of a lot of advertising. And
well, you had all those ads in the Quality Shopper back in the day.
Oh yes, man. Yes, I did. You're right.
What was Sherry's little paper she did?
Oh yeah, that's.
I can't even remember the name of it now.
I can't either. Yeah.
I would say it would be a big thing to you to to get in the back of the annuals for the yearbooks for the high schools.
I do a little bit of that, but I'm selective, just because it's so like yearbooks and stuff, it goes out to the general population, and not. I try to be really specific. Like some schools will have like a band annual thing, or band, just like a little book that they have. And so I do
audience. Targeting your audience.
Yes, that's true. I mean, and I have, man, I don't know. Have you ever, have they ever invited you to some of the, like the town council, like where they get like the Red Bank meetings and stuff like that?
I've been to a couple. It's not my favorite thing.
No. I realized early on that with that, it's pretty much just getting in there and handing out your business cards to people.
Right.
And
yeah.
Yes.
That's just that. Literally, I tried it once when I first opened, and then I gave them another shot several years later. It had not changed at all.
Kind of like a networking group or something.
Yeah, it's the Red Bank like chamber.
Oh yeah, the business chamber of commerce.
Yeah, it's like
a business.
I
got you.
Mm-hmm. They were really good, and they kind of got into what I thought was my wheelhouse here a while back, and got into the doing a car show during the Jubilee, which I thought was great. But I don't know what happened there, but it fizzled. It just went.
Yeah, it's I mean, good grief, man! Back in the day, the Red Bank Jubilee was hot.
Yes.
And it is nothing now.
Yeah.
Literally nothing.
It was big time when Earthbound played it.
Dude, it was, man. No joke.
Up on the semi truck trailer.
Yes, that was awesome. It was really cool.
Earthbound, for those who don't know, was Josh's hit band in the 2000s, 90s, 2000s.
It was 90s.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, they were awesome.
Yes, they were, man. That was.
We were all right.
I miss.
We used to practice in Jonathan's basement.
That's right. Mom,
nice.
Mom and Dad were very gracious to let them practice in the basement, and at the time, I think it was. I was talking to. I think I told you, Josh. I talked to Sherry the other day about Millard.
Oh yeah. Sherry and Brad.
And we were, and we were kind of reminiscing about some, and they used to absolutely love it. They loved listening to Earthbound.
Well, it's because everybody could hear us 5 blocks away.
Yeah, exactly. It was awesome, man. But man, if you were in the house, like, it was deafening all the way up into the attic. It was hilarious. It was hilarious.
Is one reason it's hard for you to expand is because no one knows your knowledge, and your knowledge it's transferable, but it's not. You got to be a perfectionist, like you said, to be able to. Because I imagine the scale of things you're doing, the minute details, pay off, dividends on doing it correctly.
Yeah,
and so I can only imagine that would help. Get what I was trying to say.
I kind of No, it's fine. I kind of know what you're talking about, and I'm
like expanding the business. I mean, because you can't just go out and hire. Well, this guy's a good technician, but he's not going to put the passion and love you have into that instrument. He's just going to be doing it for a job, and so it's really hard to expand. Multiple places just because of that.
Yep, it is. And that's, and I don't know if you've ever read this book or not, Steve. It's called oh shoot, now it's left me.
It happens to me all the time.
Oh shoot, what's the name of that
That's what
book?
happens when we get old.
It is, man. It is. I'll think of it in a minute. But it used McDonald's as like a blueprint of how to run a business, and it talked about, if you can automate stuff and make like an order of operations for everything, and make it so basically anybody can come in and fill that position.
Right. And standardize the process.
Exactly. And that's just not possible in a lot of ways.
Right.
But so and I have purposefully not grown or expanded and stuff, because then you start to spread yourself thin, and there's a lot of really cool things that are in the works, that are going to be happening over the next handful of years, that's going to be a little bit different side of the shop. And
can you give us a hint to anything that's up and coming?
Well, not yet, yet, but it's gonna be a little different side of what I do now. It's still gonna be the same kind of stuff. It's just gonna be marketed in a little bit different way. I will give you a little hint. I'm gonna be doing some light manufacturing of stuff.
Nice.
So
that is awesome.
I'm pretty pumped about it.
So when you're ready to and make the big announcement and stuff, I'm sure you want to come back on the show.
I'd love to, man. That'd be awesome.
Share it with everybody and tell us about how things are going, and if you've had any more famous people, or famous to your client, famous to your business people.
Yeah, man. I'd love to.
Yeah,
I'd love to.
I think that's great.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
One thing that I did, I didn't get to say earlier, but I wanted to. I loved how that when you were talking about your coming up with the name Consistent C, I always thought it was the note C, and it was just like a perfect note. So it's really neat that it was Consistent C being Cathell,
right?
And how your dad came up with that name.
Yep.
Well, my dad came up with my business name too. So.
Are you serious? That's awesome, man.
Absolutely.
Heck yeah.
Hey,
that's really cool, dude.
You know what?
I couldn't figure out it. Yes. I bet your dad came up with your business name.
He sure did.
That's awesome.
How about that?
Oh, yes, I love it.
Mine wasn't too much of a stretch, though.
Yeah.
That's
J and J.
Hey, that's that's awesome, man. I love it.
Yep. The more things are different, the more they stay the same.
That's right, man. That's right.
Oh, yeah.
And we have to ask our question we ask everyone.
That's what I was fixing to get to.
Ask
Go for it.
No. It's you. It's your question. You came up with the question, Steve. You give it to him.
We ask all of our wonderful guests this one question.
Okay.
It brings us back to a simpler time. What was your first vehicle?
Oh, dude, I love it.
Card.
Nice. Well, Josh will remember this one for sure. It was a 1963 Ford Fairlane, 2-door hardtop.
Yes.
No,
was it black?
It was black, yeah.
Yes. I remember it well.
I loved that car, but man, it was the biggest money pit.
Oh yeah.
Terrible,
I mean,
man.
But I don't know. Could people really appreciate it? Like, did the girls like it then? Did they?
Oh yes, man. I all the time people would. It was a head turner. It really was a head turner.
Well, I remember it.
Do you really? Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, it was, and it sounded good too.
You got that car. Y'all got that car before you started driving, though, didn't you?
Yes, we did.
You spent like a couple of years working on it.
Yep, we did.
Yeah,
we did. In fact, I saw it when I started working when I was 15, and Mom and Dad would have to drive me to work, and it was sitting in the Ashland Terrace shopping center up there, and sitting by the road. I guess it would be where the doctor's office is, but I think at that time, was Revco there?
Maybe.
I think, or Eckert. It might. Yeah, maybe it was Eckert's.
No, I don't remember which one. It was one of them up there. Yeah.
Yeah, and it essentially would be where the Walmart gas station is right now.
Okay.
And it sat there for weeks. I remember just, and it didn't even have a paint job. It was primered, but I thought it was just the coolest looking car I'd ever seen.
But it was sitting there for sale with a for sale sign.
It was for sale. It was.
Did it run?
Yeah.
Oh.
And I remember one day we drove by and it wasn't there. And I was so upset. I was like, oh man, somebody bought it. And when I got home from work, my dad had bought it. It was sitting in the driveway.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was, I was beside myself. I didn't know what to, but the car, it had been ragged out pretty hard.
Who's helped you along the way? And I'm guessing it's your parents.
Yes.
Because your parents and your dad seem extremely important to you.
Yes.
And I know for myself at least, without my parents, I wouldn't be anywhere near where I am now. So is that who's helped you? Is that probably who's helped you the most along the way?
100%, man. 100%. They would do anything for us, and it's very obvious with what they have helped us with and done over the years, and they're just amazing people.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, amazing people.
Yeah, congratulations on that, and congratulations on coming up on 19 years in business.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm really happy. I love this conversation. I love learning a little bit about Red Bank history and learning that you are the man in the cornerstone of Red Bank entrepreneurship.
You're too kind. Thank you. Josh,
what do you think?
I don't know.
Oh, don't start doing that, man. Thinking's way too dangerous. That's dangerous territory, man.
Oh man, we could go all over the place with this conversation.
Yeah, we could.
We go back into the day.
Oh man, Josh and I talk about a lot of times about going to his mom would take us to band camp.
This one time at band camp.
Band camp.
Yep. She would pile us all in the Datsun and take us to band camp, man. That was so much fun.
Was that the same Datsun that Josh blew up?
Yep. The
Yes.
old B210.
Oh, yes, oh, nice.
It was a cool little car, man. I loved it.
It drove like a go-kart, man. A little 4-speed.
Mm-hmm.
It was great.
It was a good car.
It needs oil though. It needs oil.
Yes. Little details. Just little details.
I was good in putting gas in it. Oil, not so much.
That's awesome.
The old man's still pissed about me tearing that car up.
It'd probably still be running today if you'd kept oil in it.
Probably would have.
It probably would. What year was it, Josh? Do you remember?
Oh man, that thing was like a 76 or something. It was about the same age as I was.
Okay, I didn't realize it was the 70s. Okay.
Yeah, it was 76 or 78. I can't
okay,
remember.
Cool.
I'm wanting to say 76.
Well, that was the year I was born.
Yeah.
When I first saw your car, Jonathan, it was fitting. I was working at Sonic, and
nice.
All the old cars were always there. So
yeah,
put in. I thought you were just one of the. And I was like, "That's a younger guy in that car. What in the heck's going on?"
No, I definitely was not in a car club or anything. I didn't. Mine was not. It was not nice enough to be in a car club.
Oh, if it meant something to you, it was nice enough. I've seen some of these guys' cars.
I was going to say, I've seen some pretty rough ones.
Yeah.
It's all in your passion.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. That is true, man.
Well, do you know any jokes?
What's the difference between a lawnmower and a tenor saxophone?
Oh, this is a brand specific joke. I have
It is. Exhaust.
Ah.
That's terrible.
No, it's great. It's great. I was, if I can find it, I had a couple good dad jokes.
Do some dad jokes.
I mean, I just got two.
I've got one too.
Do you want to go with your dad joke first?
Sure.
Yeah, go for it, man.
What is red and smells like blue paint?
No.
Red paint.
Red paint.
Oh, that's good.
It's terrible.
It's good.
It's terrible.
Well, that reminds me of another one that I use now. Ask me if I'm a truck.
Are you a truck?
No.
All right.
Oh man.
All right.
Yes.
What's the difference between a coyote and a flea?
Oh man.
One howls on a prairie and the other prowls on the hairy.
Oh yes. Nice. I like it. Yeah.
And this is more like mine. This is more like something I would say. I was like, I hate it when people get mad at me for being lazy. It's not like I did something.
Yes. Oh, that was good. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, fun stuff.
That's awesome.
I've always wanted to do one of those, like where you have dad joke fights and you try to make the other person laugh.
Oh, those are fantastic to watch.
Yes, they are.
Yes.
I think that would go over well listening too, but
yeah.
I'll have to take some notes off my dad jokes page on Facebook. Steal some jokes, so I have some.
Yes, that'd be great.
Comedy gold.
Comedy gold right there. Yes, sir.
That's right.
Jonathan, go ahead and tell us where you're located and your contact info one more time before we get out of here.
Sure, man. Absolutely. 3801 Dayton Boulevard. It is right across the street from Red Bank United Methodist Church, about 2 blocks south of the Food City. Open Tuesday through Friday, 9:30 to 5:30. We do take a lunch from 1 to 2, and I'm open on Saturday from 10 to 3. Oh, and the other thing, I forgot to mention this. I'm going to be dropping a new website, and that's going to be CCWinds.com.
Right.
And it's probably going to be another few months because my website right now is very dated.
Oh yeah.
Right.
But
what's your phone number?
423-870-3697.
All right.
You still have a landline?
Oh yeah, I do.
Holy. Wow.
I've got one here at the house.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Well, I actually just got upgraded to EPB's phone system, their fiber optic phone.
Oh, nice.
It's wicked. It's really cool.
Yeah, that is good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, that is great, man. Appreciate you, Jonathan.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah. I appreciate you guys. That was awesome.
Did a fantastic job.
You're
hope Josh does some real good editing.
I'm sure he will.
I'm surprised how. I mean, I thought we were talking longer than what we have. I mean,
how long have we been?
The recorder's showing right at 54 minutes.
Really? Yeah. It does seem longer than that.
We've been, we've talked about a bunch of stuff, and I started recording way before we actually got into the meat of things.
Yeah. You did. Yeah.
Then I had to take a beer break.
Oh yeah, you have to do that, man. Have to do
that. But yeah, man, we appreciate
sounder
you
of the
being
beer
on with
cracking
us.
open.
Did you hear it?
Oh,
I'm about halfway through one. It'll be
gotcha.
Just a little bit before I crack another one.
Yes.
Oh, that was another thing I wanted to ask you. How many people have you had come and work for you at the shop?
Oh boy. Well, Tommy was technically my first employee.
Right.
And he was part-time.
Wait, did Tommy used to work on the docks?
Very nice. Oh,
wow.
There's your dad joke for you.
That was good. That was good. That was very, very good.
Oh, Tomas Ogle. I think he was in your class, Steve.
Sorry, I was going to say he got down on his luck. But it's true.
Tommy got down on his luck.
Yeah. More of the Bon Jovi lyrics.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
All right, I'm going to shut up now.
Who was it that worked at the diner all day?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
That's right.
I can't remember who the girl was that worked at the diner all day. Okay. Anyway, go back.
We're halfway there.
That's yeah.
Lemon on a pear.
Yes. Wow. Dude, I love it, man. Can't go wrong with 80s lyrics, man.
No doubt.
No, I agree.
No doubt. All right, so you had Tommy working for you.
Tommy
was the first one, and who else has been through the shop?
A guy named Steven. He was technically my first full-time person.
I don't remember him.
He really tall guy, like probably 6'4", easy. Then, do you remember Donna that had worked for me?
No.
And
it's funny, man. It's funny. Sometimes I'm great at remembering people.
Yeah.
And then there's sometimes I just don't remember people at all. Towers is always like, man, how do you remember that crap? And I was like,
I know,
man.
yeah.
I don't know. So
it's
had Donna.
It's a talent, man.
Yeah.
And her husband Jerry kind of came in and tinkered and helped me out a little bit.
No, I think I do remember that now.
You remember Donna and Jerry?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think I do.
And I've had a couple of other like apprentices and stuff over the years. I need to really kind of sit down and think about that. And then I had another girl named Brooke who I actually went to college with.
Yeah.
And then Jeremy and Alex and Courtney are current still.
Yeah.
But I need to say I would maybe a dozen, maybe 13, 14, just if you include like apprentices and people who's come in and kind of just done some small part-time work
stuff. Like Greg. Mm-hmm. Greg was a
part-timer,
right?
Yeah, he was. I can't believe I left him out. Greg helped me out a lot. Yeah, he was. Yeah,
I think he worked on Brandon's horn.
But yeah, he probably did. Yeah, he did mostly a lot of my brass stuff. Yeah.
Pretty sure he did.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, thanks. I need to sit down and write down who else worked at the shop. I haven't thought about that.
I might not put this in. I don't know. It depends on how
you're fine.
He's back. But I was just wondering how many people you'd had through there.
Yeah, no, it's fine. That's fine, man.
But I appreciate you getting on here with us. And
dude, that was a ball, man. Thanks for asking.
All right, brother. We'll talk to you later.
Appreciate it. See you, man.
All right, guys. Have a good evening.
You too, buddy.
Bye.
Bye.
Man, it sure was great talking to Jonathan Cathell of Consistent C, which is also Consistent Cathell, and about all the freaking amazing things he's got going on right now. Really look forward to what he's got going in the future. And I really hope to have him back on.
Oh, he's coming. He's coming back on for sure.
Yeah. I was thinking, as nice as he was to talk to and stuff, that we better watch out, or it may become 3 likable guys. It's ridiculous. But
he might just take my place. It might still be 2 likable guys and then that so-so guy.
No. No one can take your place. You are an expert at what you do, sir. We appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
Hey, and man, talking about appreciation, sure do appreciate everybody listening to us. If you really like us, or if you even like us a little bit and you find something interesting, man, if you can share that, tell a friend about us. We really appreciate that. We're growing. We're trying to grow even bigger and better. You can always find us at twolikeableguys.com. You can send us email at twolikeableguys@gmail.com. And we really appreciate you listening. Hey, we like you, and we hope you like us too.
Later.